And if anyone has any shout outs that they want to do, feel free to interrupt and shout someone out.
I want to shout out Skylar. She just finished her second year of teaching kindergarten and decided that she was better served as being a stay-at-home mom and a full-time coach. So we're super excited for her that she gets to love on that sweet baby even more now.
That is so awesome. So awesome. No other shout outs? Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in then because I've got a lot to share tonight and I'm gonna be sharing my screen for a little bit of it. Let me just change the view here. Okay, so the purpose of tonight's call is to talk about the Fix Your Foundation training that Sarah and I are going to be running for the team this month. And then also just talking about tracking in general, because I think that based on the conversations that we've had, I think that so many of us are not driven. We're not business people. Like we, in our everyday lives, like most of us are actually, we're more in the serving type of profession as opposed to the business numbers accountant type profession. And so most of us are not driven by numbers and lists necessarily. We're driven by feelings and the impact we have on others and serving. Like that's what fills our cup. I guarantee if the majority of us were to take the love language quiz, which I just took recently, we probably are more apt to be in the quality time and words of affirmation type categories as opposed to like the gifting and the touch and that kind of thing. So, and I say that because most of us, it's just not natural for us to be driven by the business. It doesn't mean it's not important. And I think that I have miscommunicated that a little bit over the years because I have never been driven by income or volume numbers. However, at the end of every month, when I'm calculating what my income was for the month, if it's lower than it was the month before, I'm like, WTF, why'd that happen? And I'm trying to figure out why. Or if at the end of the month I'm much lower volume wise than I normally am, I'm like, okay, where did I go wrong? What did I not do? That kind of thing. So I sit here and say, I'm not driven by numbers. I'm not driven by income. That's not like what makes me do what I do, but it's still important. I still track it. I still pay attention to what I'm making. I still pay attention to what my volume is, because I'm constantly comparing myself, not to everybody else on the volume board. Don't get me wrong. I don't do that. What I do is I compare myself. Like this month I noticed I was in the 900 plus category instead of the 1000 plus category. And I'm like, wait, I still hit Success Club 10. What did I do wrong here? So I'm trying to figure out where that volume went that I didn't have this month. So just because we sit here and say, I'm not in this for the money, I'm not doing this because that's what's important to me, I'm not just trying to make a sale to make a buck. I know all that. You all know that. We wouldn't be here still. I mean, because let's be real. Christy made a comment last night on our call about how, like, you know, $2,000 to some people isn't worth getting on a team call every Sunday, isn't worth planning a challenge group, is it worth whatever. Or $1,000 to some people isn't worth the time that we're putting in, because we do put a lot of time into what we're doing. So that's not the driving force behind most of us. However, it's still important. And so I think that we need to keep that in mind when it comes to tracking. I think that the reason why I'm bringing that up along with tracking is because this is a business. And as much as we enjoy it, and it's also a hobby, and it's also to hold ourselves accountable, and we love it, and we're passionate about it, and that's why we're here, it's still a business. So if you ever feel yourself the slightest bit defeated, or saying like, why am I still stuck at Emerald when my other friends that joined around the same time are Diamond, or why am I, making $25 a week when everybody else is making $100 a week? Like, if you ever find yourself saying that, or even feeling like, this isn't really paying off, maybe I should just quit. If you've ever said that to yourself, then maybe it's time to reevaluate whether or not you're treating this like a business or just a hobby. Because if it's just a hobby, we want you here. Don't get me wrong. But you have to understand that if you treat it that way, it's going to be that way. And if you're going to treat it like a business, then it's going to be a business. So with that said, the Fix Your Foundation challenge that we are hosting for the team, and Sarah and I are kind of pulling things as we go. We know we have like this vision for what it's going to be. We talked about doing it this month, and we know what our heart is, and we know what our desire is for the group and for the team. So we're just going to kind of be plugging away at it as the month goes on. So I really want you to partake in it. I really want you to go back and think, like, what is your foundation? What are you leaning on? Last week or the week before, I said in our team call, something has to be your foundation to lean on when it gets hard. Like, something has to make you show up when you absolutely don't even want to like get out of bed. And that's the thing you need to find. And if you don't have that right now, then it's the thing you need to reestablish. It's the thing you need to fix. And so that's the purpose of the challenge that we're hosting. So fix your foundation. Your foundation of your business should be rooted in your confidence, your story, your why. If you don't remember what that is, I actually asked you to write that down last week or 2 weeks ago. I gave you these questions with some ideas on how to share the business more publicly on your social media. And the very first question was, why do you do this? In the 2 weeks since that call, how many of you have shared why you do this with the world? If you haven't, there's a little gut check, and you need to figure it out and share it. Because that's like, I don't know what gets laid down first. Christy and Sarah are both building houses right now, so they probably know, but whatever gets done first when you're building a house, like breaking ground or whatever, that's your why. Like, nothing else can happen until you understand why you're here on this call, until you understand why you signed up, what you're going to do with this, what's your calling, what's your direction with the business. Once you've got that established, you have to lean in to those oh my God, the word is leaving me. Vital behaviors. Sorry, brain fart. The vital behaviors. That's the foundation of the business. Like, a nice, clean Instagram is not your foundation. A cute selfie is not your foundation. Your foundation is the vital behaviors. Y'all have seen Sarah at the front of the volume board for the past 2 months. She went live in the team page and told you what she's doing. She told us all exactly what she learned from Josh Coates. And she has told us exactly what she's doing to make it happen. Well, guess what, y'all? It works. That's why she's at the front of the leaderboard right now for the team, because she's doing the vital behaviors. Her foundation is solid. Now, that's not to say that there have been times in her business over the years where her foundation has been weaker. Sure, life happens. I mean, she had to move. Her husband wasn't there with her for a while. Foundation got a little weak. She recognized it, and instead of saying, well, dang, I guess the whole house is screwed now, she was like, no, I'm going to fix the foundation. And so what she did is she went to Josh Coates, plugged into his training hardcore, 100%, and look at her now. House is going strong. Business is going strong because she believes so much in what she's doing. And even though her heart's desire has never necessarily been revolving around income, she sees the potential in the business. She sees what the income is doing for her family right now. And so she knows If she leans on that foundation that she's established, then she's going to be able to do good things and the income's going to start flowing. So she's spending time doing the vital behaviors. I'm going to share my screen with you right now because the vital behaviors, you guys, are so simple. And I have actually created this, let me get to it. Sorry, I didn't realize I had my, this up. I've created this tracker that is almost identical to the one that Josh Coates created. I was in one of his groups with Sarah for a month, and I went back in before the end of it and made sure to take from it what I could to share with the team, because it does work. I have hit Success Club 10 the last 3 months in a row for the first time in months. And it's because I'm doing what Josh Coates has told me to do. I was struggling to hit Success Club 5 before that because my life stuff was causing me to lose faith in my foundation. So I stopped doing the vital behaviors. Honestly, for a little while, I even kind of lost touch with my why. I really did. And I started to question, why am I showing up on a Sunday night? Why am I listening to the National Wake Up Call instead of rocking out to Cardi B? Like, why am I doing those things when everybody else is watching, I don't know, Game of Thrones, and I'm over here like reading my PD book? Why am I doing this? I started to question it. My foundation had weakened. And so thankfully, Sarah recognized that, and she really plugged into me, and she was like, Linz, let's do this, let's do this with me. And I didn't want to. I'll be honest, I didn't want to. When she told me it was $100, I didn't want to throw in $100. And when she, kept coming to me saying, we need to do this, we need to get a call together, we need to do this, I was like, I have like no desire. And like, I'd be driving down the road and it'd be time to listen to the National Wake Up Call and be like, I don't care about the National Wake Up Call. I had to really dig deep and remind myself of why this is important to me. Like what my why is, because for so long, my why had been rooted in something, and that's not going to happen right now. That might not happen ever for me due to life circumstance. So I had to reestablish a why, and in order for my foundation to get fixed. So you may be at that point. If you're not at that point, if you know what your why is, then I have to ask you why the heck your name has not been on this tracker. Because you guys, I don't care if you have a different system you use. I don't care if you've got that nice bound book. I know a couple of people created that bound book after hearing about that on the National Wake Up Call. If you've got the old school bat that we have that you print, or you use Teamsy or Streak or whatever it is people are using these days. I don't care what you're using. Why are you not plugging into the team page at least one time a day and just checking off these boxes for yourself? And just showing everybody, I'm coming in every day, showing up with the basic foundation for my business. Because this is it. This is it right here. You put your name here. And then on Thursday, so we'll start this for June. I don't know. Rebecca was taking over this, and she was going to post it in the team page. I don't know if she did it for last week yet or not. If she didn't, then we'll start it this week on Thursday. I didn't check before I came into the team call. But anyway, you put Thursday's date right there where it says Thursday. This is the easiest thing, and if you're not doing this every day, then this is part of your problem with your foundation. Your personal development and your affirmations. A lot of us are using the Rachel Hollis notebook. I hope everybody's listening to the National Wake Up Call each week. I hope people have plugged into at least one podcast that really speaks to you. Now that I'm in a new relationship, the new Rise Together podcast has really started speaking to me. Had never listened to it before. You know how I came across it? Watching Christy's stories. She shared something, and it was like, oh my gosh. I think it was on the 5 love languages maybe, or I don't even know what she shared. Yeah. And I had actually been thinking about the love languages. And then, this is just total side note, then I actually took the quiz myself. And then on the way to the beach last weekend, I gave the quiz to Ricky while he was driving. So now we both know each other's love languages. Cool thing. Anyway, Um, but that just needs to be happening, and it's on there for every single day because it needs to happen every single day. I don't care if that just means you stand in front of the mirror while you're brushing your teeth and you tell yourself that you're beautiful and you're strong and you're confident and you're worthy and you're enough and you're a good mom and you're a great teacher and you're a wonderful daughter and you're a loving wife and you're a whatever you need to tell yourself every day. Those are affirmations, and they matter. They matter so much. I had kind of leaned away from my Rachel Hollis notebook for a little while. Again, only because my foundation was not, my why was not solid for a little while. Now that I'm back into it, I realize what I was lacking those weeks when I was like, I don't want to listen to the National Wake Up Call, was because I didn't have any confidence in myself. So I didn't feel like it was worth listening to the National Wake Up Call. If you feel that way, ask yourself, am I doing personal development, not business development? Personal development. It needs to be catered to you. And am I doing my affirmations daily? The next thing on here is mapping out your day and your goals. I do this every day because I honestly don't know how a woman does life without knowing what her day looks like every morning. As soon as I get to work, I open up my thing and I'm like, okay, this is what's going on this time, and this time. This is what I'm doing after school, and this is the order all these things need to happen in. And I even get down to the wire, like, or down to the nitty gritty, like on planning. I need to make this copy. I need to grade this test, and then I cross them out as I go. I mean, your map of your day may look different. Your goals may look different, but you should be doing them, or at least looking at them and working with them every single day. Every single day, you should start 5 new conversations. I'm not saying 5 new invites, okay? I know invites are scary to some people. I recommend 5, but I only put 5 new conversations here. This could mean you just start talking to some girl about where she got her new Birkenstocks, or you start talking to some girl about what eyelashes she wears because they're really cute. I don't know, whatever it is that floats your boat, you start a conversation with someone about it, either on Instagram or on Facebook. A super, super easy way to start a conversation is through your stories. Ask a question, get some responses, and then start a conversation with that. Every single day, minimum should be 3 invites. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking, this is not what I love about this business. I hate inviting. I don't want to treat it this way. I don't like this, blah, blah, blah. And I get it, you guys, I do. But I also want to reinforce the idea that this is a business. And sometimes in order to get all the joy out of every other aspect of the business, we have to do the parts we don't like. I mean, you know, I don't like cleaning toilets, but in order for my house to look nice, I've got to clean the toilet at least once in a while, you know? So you've got to do at least 3 invites. That's the bare minimum. And you can invite them to whatever your heart desires. Invite them to the Summer Strong sale. If you don't feel confident inviting them to your challenge group, invite them to your challenge group. Invite them to our skinny jean challenge. Invite them to our cleanse group. And I mean, think of the things you can be inviting to. There's so much. Then every day you also need to be doing the 3 follow-ups. The 3 follow-ups may be more important than the 3 invites. Like if you only have time for one or the other, the follow-up is probably more important, quite frankly. As long as you establish those 5 new conversations every day, you're always going to have people to follow up with. You don't necessarily have to invite someone in order to follow up with them. The next thing on here is find a way on a daily basis to expand your network, whether it be through a new hashtag, whether it be through, when I worked with the Roden and Fields girl, I expanded my network that way. I mean, it can be any variety of things. Every single day you need to have, and if you only have 4, then I don't know, you must not have a lot going on during your day. But you need to at least be sharing 4 stories. And now I just listened to a podcast by Brock Johnson on Instagram stories. And he actually says, don't post more than 4 at a time, like more than 4 within an hour. So he was saying, like, if you're talking into your thing, don't let it be more than 4 videos long, because people will stop listening and people get annoyed. So, and I hadn't really thought of that, because in the morning I was sharing a lot of my workout, and then it hit me, like sometimes that's like 6, segments, like me doing my energize, and then me warming up, and then me doing a certain ab exercise, and then, I don't know, me doing something else, like my selfie or something at the end. Well, don't do any more than that, because people are going to be like, well, that's all she's doing. I don't want to pay attention. But by the end of the day, you should have at least 4 stories in your Instagram or on Facebook. If you don't, start asking the team page what you should be sharing. Like, I know Sarah struggled for a little while with what to share on stories because she's super busy at work, and she's not, I mean, her work is very confidential. She's not allowed to share everything she's doing. As a teacher, I could get in trouble if I share too much. So usually at one point during the day, I try to share something my students are doing or something like that. Or the book I'm reading, or that's when I'll share my affirmations from my Rachel Hollis notebook. I try to save things up for later. You should have every day at least one poll, survey, or question for people to interact with in your stories. It can be something you ask them verbally while you're on video. It can be, should I wear earrings or a necklace with this outfit? I think I got like 200 responses to that poll when I asked that question. It can be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be, do you want to join my group? In fact, it shouldn't be that every time, or people are going to stop watching your stories. But every day you should have at least 4 stories, and every day one of those stories should force your followers or encourage your followers to interact with you. This is all coming from Josh Coates. This is not coming from me. I've adapted the numbers slightly to make them more user-friendly, less intimidating. Sarah could probably tell you what the numbers are in Josh Coates' group. And if you're really like gunning for a rank advancement, or you are really wanting to build this business into something huge, then I would follow the numbers that she gives you. But these are numbers that I thought were reasonable for the majority of us to do on a daily basis. Every day you should be posting at least once on social media. I mean, I feel like that's a given. It should, and it doesn't always have to be your workout. Very rarely these days am I sharing my workout. Every day you should be checking into the team page. I'm going to go ahead and say this. Every day you should be checking into the team page, and you should be plugging into this tracker, and you should be putting in all the things you did that day. And be honest. Don't just go through and put an X on everything. If you didn't do your 3 invites, don't put an X there. On Saturdays, you'll notice almost every single Saturday, I don't do much. I do my stories. I show up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But as far as like starting new conversations, unless something reaches to me, I don't necessarily do that, because Saturday is my day that I determined at the beginning of this business was going to be my day off to be with family. Now, if I don't have my kids on Saturday, might be a different story. So that's it, you guys. Like, that is the foundation right there. That tracker right there, I just took you through one day of it. That's the vital behaviors. You're doing your personal development. You're sending your invites. You are sharing your story somehow, and you are showing up. You're sticking true to you. The only vital behavior that I don't have on there, and you could do this when you check into the team page, is the shout out. I mean, I did a shout out for Skylar yesterday. Christy just did one for Skylar today. Shout outs can be anything. It could be us just recognizing all the people that did the tracker this week. It could be us saying, Faith and Melissa did this on Friday. They got to hang out together, and they become really close friends through this business. So they shouted each other out for that on social media. Like, it can be anything. So as far as saying, like, I don't understand what the vital behaviors are, they're right here. Like, I can provide you the tools and the resources and the training, but if you don't do it, I can't help. I mean, literally, I don't know what else to do. I don't know if this tracker, if you think it could be tweaked, if you think it needs something added to it or taken off of it, or we need to change the numbers or something, then reach out to me and let's talk about it, because I truly don't understand why we have almost 200 people in our team page and we have less than 10% of them showing up on this tracker every week. Like, are some of us, have we just thrown in the towel? Because I'm going to tell you, even when I really felt like I had thrown in the towel, I was still doing bare minimum. Now, I wasn't doing the invites every day. But I was showing up. I was sharing my story. I was doing my PD because, God, I knew if I didn't, I was going to fall apart. I was mapping out my day. I didn't have really huge goals because I didn't have the confidence in myself to establish them. But I was doing the bare minimum. Foundation was super weak. My why was not established. I didn't even know why I was showing up. I just knew I had to. But I was still doing that little bit. And that's where you need to be. You have to do the bare minimum. I'm trying to figure out right now how to stop sharing. There we go. It's so important that you, again, plug in to this Fix Your Foundation challenge, because it's going to help you to reestablish. Christy just said that she asked for suggestions to keep her thighs from chafing, and she got tons of responses, like stuff like that. I asked for something about running one time, and I had tons of people. I asked for about treadmill the other day, and nobody replied to me. Apparently people don't like treadmills. But it's hit or miss. I always get a lot when I ask about fashion advice. I always get a lot when I ask about what I should wear, or what the best, mascara is. Interior design, yes. I know, like, the girls that are planning their houses right now, when they ask about this cupboard or this cupboard, people have tons of opinions about that stuff. Christy, the first post was yesterday, but it was a weekend post because I know some people don't work at all on the weekends and some only work one day on the weekends. And it was asking you to somehow leverage the Summer Strong sale and either go through and and follow up with people and let them know about the new sale price, or make a post about the sale, something like that. And then share it in the comments so that we can steal ideas from each other. And then I've got a podcast that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow that I want people to listen to, that's going to help kind of some of us establish that confidence in ourselves again, because I think that between our why and doing those vital behaviors, that's the foundation of the business, and that's where we all need to focus this month. And I really do think if you start plugging in and you start going to that tracker, because I guarantee you guys, if you're not putting your name on that tracker, are you tracking? Like, be completely honest with yourself. Now, again, you may be thinking right now, I don't like that part of the business, that's why I don't do it. And that's fine. I don't like that part of the business either. But I know if I don't do it, I'm going to stop showing up. The foundation's going to weaken, and I'm going to stop doing the things that need to happen in order for the business to survive. So I know that that's one of the things I have to force myself to do. Again, it's like cleaning the toilets. I weeded the flower bed yesterday. Didn't want to do that. I hate weeding. But I know it has to happen, or something's not going to be okay. Like, my HOA is going to come for me, and you got to think of it that way with the business. Like, if you don't track, then what else is going to fall apart? I can tell you that since I stopped tracking, I also stopped focusing on my nutrition, and my engagement in our challenge groups weakened because I wasn't engaged with everything else. So call yourself out. Like, be honest with yourself right now. Am I tracking? Am I taking this business seriously to whatever degree you want to take it? And would forcing myself to plug into the team page one time a day and put a little X in all those boxes that I did do, would that really hurt me? Probably not. It would probably help you. I really, really, really want to see at least 25 people using our team tracker, the Google one, the one that I just shared with you and walked you through this month. And I want to see how that impacts our business if you show up every day and use the tracker and do the work. Are there any other questions before I close off the call?
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
First of all, you and I are on the same page as far as, I think the whole team, what I love about this team is not being focused on numbers. But what I have learned since working with Josh Coates, the first time I did a group with him, I was like very turned off because I felt like it was all about the numbers. But this last time, he explained things in a way that made sense to me. And so he used the example when he used to work in a shoe store, and people would come in, like tons of people would come in, but like some of them were just browsing, some of them just stopped because it was the store next to the store they were just in. They had no intention of buying shoes that day. But some people came in, and no matter how he did his job, they were ready. They were ready to get shoes because they needed them. And so he was just kind of, that to me made the point that you have to get in front of that many people to find the ones who are really ready to change their lives. And as much good as we put out into the universe with like sharing our journey and things like that, it realistically comes down to, I mean, how many times have you been talking to someone about joining your challenge group, and then they go sign up with some random person who doesn't ever even post about working out? They literally just happen to be in the right place at the right time. So what I want to just stress is, like, I've been trying to send 20 invites a day, and I have before, like, I wasn't even tracking anything. And it sounds really scary, but y'all, it's like copy and pasting. And it's literally just saying like, hey, I'm getting people ready for my next group. Would you like some more information? There's nothing, to me, there's nothing like icky about that. If they don't reply, they don't reply. But if you're struggling to invite because you don't have confidence, because you're not getting yeses, you have to talk to more people to get yeses. You can't only talk to 3 people a day and wonder why you're not hitting Success Club 10. And then the other part I want to explain about that is this is still about the relationship. So our job starts at the sale. So, but you have to get to that sale to really be able to plug into that person. And I just felt Kaden let go of me. I thought he was going to fall. Plug into that person and like really learn how you can help them. So that to me makes me feel so much better that I have to find my people first. And in order to find them, you just have to keep talking to people. And maybe people, you've only wished happy birthday to before, but like, I believe that God's going to align your lives for a really special purpose, but you have to do your own part to make that happen. So, I'm unapologetic about sending 20 invites a day. And last month I had such amazing engagement with the people that actually that signed up and enrolled. And that has more than the money has made me so much more excited and passionate about this, because there's nothing more discouraging than somebody never even showing up in a challenge group or never even opening their package. That's when it starts to feel like you're losing your purpose. But Christy, what is my simple invite? I just kind of, I'll change the wording around a little bit, but like, I just tell them that I'm, let me look. Basically I just say like, hey, I write their name, and I say, I'm working on getting a few women together for my next virtual fitness / nutrition boot camp. I either say, would you have any interest in joining us? Or I say, would you like some more information? Usually I say, would you have any interest in joining us? And if it's someone I've invited before, I'll say, I know the time wasn't right before, but like this month, I'm definitely going to leverage the Summer Strong sale, but just say like, I'm really looking forward to getting you in here with us and to helping you, crush those goals that we talked about. And, thanks, Linz. Now, I don't say accountability group, but that's probably even better, because their next question is always, what does it entail? And that is where I've started using an email. I know I'm just kind of like sidetracked this whole call, but I can share it with everyone. But the email, I literally like just broke down like, what is Beachbody? And I talk about the lifestyle, and I break it down into the 3 categories: exercise, nutrition, accountability. So they can read it all. They can see every little thing that they're getting. And then at the bottom, it says like, what is this going to set me back? And I talk about what the price normally is for all of those things and what the discount bundle gets them. And so then I email it to them, and it's so easy to send out an email and put that in front of them. And then if they are that person who is like ready to change their life that day, it's just so easy. Like, you don't have to keep going back and forth about all of the details. Now I will ask them about like their goals and what they're currently doing to kind of get an idea about that before I send the email. But it has definitely, if you're talking to that many people a day, you have to find a way to kind of be a little more efficient with delivering the information. And I'm a visual person, so if people are hesitant because they feel like they're getting scammed, I feel like being able to see it all laid out in front of them in a very clear way, because Beachbody doesn't really have third-party tools where when people say like, what exactly is this for a challenge group, you have to kind of try to explain it. So that's why I feel like this makes people feel a little more secure and like informed. Like, you're not trying to just, I don't know. Does that make sense? So yeah, just try pushing yourself with invites, because when you finally get those people who are ready to do it, it kind of changes the game. Like, it really changes the game. And there's nothing special about me. I just copied and pasted a message and tried to send it 20 times a day, 5 days a week. And that's how you find people.
I like that. Especially on Instagram. I don't know. It's just so easy to find new people, I guess, on Instagram that you haven't already interacted with. So side note, Sarah just mentioned the Summer Strong sale and leveraging it again. I put a poll in there and it looks like some people are already seeing it. I just put a poll in our team page saying, would you benefit from or take part in a Summer Strong flash sale if I hosted one for the team? It would not require you to do gift cards or anything like that, because Beachbody's already created the sale. It would simply just put the sale prices in front of people's faces without you having to talk about them. I'm happy to put that together if people are interested. I know we just hosted a flash sale a month or two ago, so you may not want to do that again. It wouldn't take much for me to throw together though. So go ahead, make sure you vote on that and be honest. I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But just to help y'all that you're still struggling with what do I invite to, and how do I send all these invites? Like, to me, it's super easy to invite them to a flash sale, like, because then you don't have to have that conversation that makes you feel uncomfortable. You have it after they've already had it in their face by someone else. Like, that is the third party tool, I guess. So please make sure you vote on that. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you have not watched the video that Sarah shared in the team page on what she learned from Josh Coates, I would search Sarah or search Josh Coates in the team page and find it and watch it, because it was really good. What she got out of the group and shared with us is tremendous. And if you just do it, like she just said, it's going to make a difference in your business. So I love y'all. I hope you have a good week. And to those of you that are teachers in North Carolina, happy last Monday.